Hello students, now today we are going to start the next chapter of the biology, that is of the 12th class. Yes, this is the chapter number 10 and this chapter is microbes in human welfare. Yes, till now you have studied that microbes cause a number of diseases, but it is not only true that it will cause disease in plants and animals. What does it mean? It means it will make a number of useful products also that can be used by the human beings and the other organisms also. So firstly question arises, what are microbes? Microbes, as the name indicates, these are microscopic in nature, means these cannot be seen by the naked eyes. So these we need the microscope to see these type of organisms. So microbes include protozoa, bacteria, yeast, whose scientific name is the Saccharomyces cerevisiae, virus, viroids and prions. Firstly, protozoa, bacteria and yeast were considered as the microbes, but later on virus, viroids and prions, that are the we can say proteinous infectious particles, is also included in the microbial category. But virus have the genetic material is RNA also and DNA also. So it will depend, we can classify the virus into two categories, deoxyvirus and the ribovirus, that contain the RNA. After that, viroids and prions. Viroids have the genetic material RNA only and prions have the genetic material only proteins. So all these organisms are considered or we can say comes under the category of microbes. Microbes are cosmopolitan in nature, that means omnivore. Cosmopolitan means these can found everywhere, that means it can found in the cold places also, in the high temperature also, it can found deep in the oceans also, in we can say in the glacier, below the glaciers also. So there is no place on the earth where these are not found. So we can say these are found outside the organisms also, and these can found inside the body of organisms also, like E. coli is the bacteria that is lives in our small intestine. So that is why it is called that it is cosmopolitan in nature. Third is if we are performing the experiment, so we need these microbes, and these microbes can be cultured, can be multiplied on the culture media in the laboratories. So when we need a number of microbes, we need to multiply them, and for them we need to make a culture media that is for the specific purpose of the microbes. So microbes can be considered, that means it can be considered as harmful also, because it will cause a number of diseases in plants and animals, and it will also cause, it is also known as the useful microbes also, because it will make a valuable products also, like enzymes, hormones, organic acids. These are also act as biofertilizers also. So in this chapter we will study how the microbes are useful for the human beings. So what are the products that can be synthesized with the help of microbes? Okay, so what we will study in this chapter, microbes in the household products, that means the products which can synthesized by the microbes are used in the houses. Microbes in the industrial products, microbes in the sewage treatment, microbes in the biogas production, microbes as a biopesticides, and microbes as a biofertilizers. So these are the 6 topics that we will discuss in this chapter. So first, microbes in the household products. Yes, there are a number of household products in which we are using the microbes, like curd, cheese, duff, bread. These are the examples. So first we are going to discuss is the curd. The process of curd making is very oldest method in India. Yes, from the ancient time, curd is making by the humans at the home also. So what is the procedure and what we are doing when we are making the curd? So curd making process is done in which fermentation of milk is done to make it sour, to provide its different flavor and to add nutritional quality of vitamin B12. So why we are making the curd? Because milk is going to be passed through fermentation to make it sour to add flavor and to add the vitamin B12. Okay, how this process is going on? Firstly, we need to make warm, or we need a pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk, yes, when milk is heated at 70 to 76 degrees Celsius, then it is known as the pasteurized milk, that can be available in the shops also in the form of Coke packets. Okay, after that, this warm milk is cooled down at some level, and then starter is added. That starter will contain a number of lab bacteria. Yes, lab bacteria, lactic acid bacteria. That is, example is the Lactobacillus bulgaris. I have written here also Lactobacillus bulgaris. So this starter contains a number of Lactobacillus bulgaris bacteria, and these bacteria will break down the lactose sugar of the milk and then convert that lactose sugar of the milk into the lactic acid. As the concentration of lactic acid will increase in the milk, it will cause coagulation of milk protein. That means milk have a protein that is known as the casein, and when the coagulation of casein will start, it will start to make the curd. So this is the first that we can make at household, but we use the microbes. Second is the duff. Yes, a number of Indian products are used to make by the microbes, like dosa, idli, jalebi and bread, with the help of microbes only. But we are now going to discuss about the bread, how bread is making. Bread is made by using a special microbe, or that is known as the yeast, baker's yeast, whose scientific name is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. What we will do, we will make the dough. We can mix the flour with the water, and then we can add the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. What it will do, this yeast will start to eat the sugar of the flour, and at that time it will release the CO2, and that CO2 will start to comes outside. As a result, it will increase the size of the bread also. After that, we can cut that, and then we can bake at the different temperatures. So we will add the yeast in the dough, and then that will release the CO2, and that CO2 will help to make the bread. Next, third point is cheese. Yes, this is the third product that can be made at households. What do you mean by cheese? Yes, cheese is a partially degraded concentrate of milk, fat and proteins. That means partially degraded concentrate of milk, fat and the protein by the microbes is known as the cheese, and it will depend upon size. We can say size, their flavor also. Cheese are classified into three categories: cottage cheese, Swiss cheese and Roquefort cheese. So cottage cheese is made with the help of a bacteria that is known as the Streptococcus lactis. Swiss cheese that have large number of holes and due to the CO2. So a bacteria Propionibacterium shermani is used to make the Swiss cheese, because it will produce large amount of CO2, and large amount of CO2 will make the large holes, and that will make it sponge-like structures. Third is the Roquefort cheese. A special fungus is used here, because in both these types we are using the bacteria, but here we use the fungus Penicillium roqueforti, that will give its, we can say, the grayish bluish color. And this Roquefort cheese is specially made by the sheep milk. So in size of the increase size of the, we can say, size will increase and pores will made. It will depend upon the concentration of the CO2, how much concentration of CO2 is there. After that, some other products are also here. That is the toddy. Toddy is the southern Indian classical, or we can say traditional drink. Yes, like in the Kerala. So it is made by the fermentation of latex that is obtained from the palm tree and the coconut water. That means latex and the coconut water together mixed, and they will undergo the process of fermentation. So these are the products that can we make by the microbes at houses. Okay, after antibiotics and the enzymes, third that we are making in the industries is the organic acids. Yes, organic acids are the acids that can use for many of the useful in many of the useful process also, but these are mainly synthesized by the microorganisms. So first is the citric acid. This citric acid is produced by the fermentation by the microbes Aspergillus niger and Candida lipolytica. Candida is an yeast, and this citric acid used for the as a medicine, dyeing, and mirror silvering. After that, second organic acid is the acetic acid. First was the citric acid. Second is the acetic acid, which can be obtained from the Acetobacter aceti. That is why name is given the acetic acid. This acetic acid is used as a coloring agent, as an insecticide, and for making the plastic also. Acetic acid is used from the fermentation of alcohol. Yes. Third is the cyclosporin A. Cyclosporin A is a bioactive molecule. Yes, and it is obtained from by the fermentation and by using the Trichoderma polysporum. Yes, Trichoderma polysporum microbe is used for obtaining the cyclosporin A or for making the cyclosporin A. This cyclosporin is used as an immunosuppressive drugs during the organ transplantation. It means that when any type of the surgery is going on for transplantation of the organ like the kidney, we can say like the cornea, at that time immunity should be lower down, because any organ will enter in the body from outside, and our immunity can recognize that organ as a foreign particle, so it will start to attack on that and to try to damage that also. So at that time during the organ transplantation, always bioactive molecules, cyclosporin like drugs, we can say organic acids are given, that is known as the immunosuppressive agents, that is cyclosporin A. Next is a statin, that is also a bioactive molecule which is obtained by the microbe Moniscus purpureus. It is act as a blood cholesterol lowering agent. That means if we will take this organic acid, the doctors will recommend it is to lowering down the cholesterol level in the blood, and that is why we are using the statins. After that, next acid is the lactic acid, that can be obtained by the fermentation and by using microbe Lactobacillus vulgaris. So it can be obtained by the fermentation of corn, potato starch, and molasses. So these are the 5 organic acids that can be obtained on the industrial products: citric acid, acetic acid, cyclosporin A, statins, and lactic acid. After that, fourth product that can obtain from the industries by using the microbe is the vitamins. Yes, vitamins are the mineral type which can be used by the body in the trace amounts. But there are many type of vitamins like vitamin A, B, C, D, E, and K. But only 2 vitamins can be produced by biotechnology with the help of microbes. That is the vitamin B12 and vitamin B2. Only these two vitamins. The scientific name of vitamin B12 is cobalamin, and scientific name of vitamin B2 is the riboflavin. Okay, discuss first cobalamin. That was first prepared or manufactured in 1948, whose main chief source is the liver. It can also obtained or found in the milk, meat, egg, and fish. But biotechnology we can synthesize by using the microbes. So microbes are Pseudomonas denitrificans and Propionibacterium shermani. Riboflavin, that is vitamin B2, firstly it was manufactured in 1938, and it is found in the green vegetables, cereals, milk, egg white, and liver. But biotechnology we can make by using the microbes SY, Gossypii, and Erythromycin armothecium SY. These are the microbes by which we can make the vitamins B12 and vitamin B2. One more vitamin A is there that can be made by the beta carotene fermentation by using the microbes. So we can say on the industrial scale we can make the antibiotics, enzymes, vitamins, and organic acids by using the microbes that can be used for the human welfare. Now we are going to discuss the second property where microbes can be used in the industry. Microbes can make a number of products in the industries that can be used for the human welfare. So next topic is microbes in industrial products. So microbes can be used to make like the enzymes, antibiotics, vitamins, and organic acids. So first is enzymes. What is the enzymes? Term enzyme is given by the William Caney in 1867. Enzymes are the proteinous in nature and these act as a biocatalyst. That means these can control the rate of reaction. That means it will depend upon the time. It will enhance also and it can decrease also rate of reaction. That is why it is known as enzymes are known as the biocatalyst. So a number of enzymes are here that can be prepared in the industries and used for human welfare. These are first protease. This protease enzyme that is used to degrade the proteins dissolving proteins. So proteins dissolving enzymes is known as the protease that can be used in the leather industry for beating of hides, used in textile industry for removing the stains from the clothes, and for in the dry cleaning for remove the food spots from the clothes. Second is the amylase. As you know, amylase is the starch dissolving enzyme. So it can degrade the starch. I have mentioned here also. It can degrade the starch. What are the other uses? It is used to remove the starch from the woven clothes in the dry cleaning. It is used to make softening and sweetening, to add softening and sweetening in the bread also. So next enzyme is streptokinase. Yes, streptokinase is used as a clot booster. What do you mean by this clot booster? Because so many times some patients are suffering from myocardial infections, and that way clot will form in the blood vessels, and that clot is of blood. And if it is that clot is not removed at a proper time, it will cause the heart attack and even cause the death also in severe cases. So streptokinase enzyme is used to dissolve that blood clot in the blood vessels. So it can be used for the medical purpose also. Next is the lactase. Lactase, that is also known. Lactase, as you know, lactic acid bacteria is there, that is lactobacillus bacteria. It will convert the lactose of milk into lactic acid. But what is the name of the enzyme that is having the lactobacillus or released by the lactobacillus? Yes, this is the lactase enzyme that will convert the milk into curd. Next is the rennet. Yes, rennet is extracted from the stomach of calf. Yes, because this rennet contains an enzyme that is known as rennin, and this rennin is used to make for the cheese making purpose. So these are the enzymes that can be made from in the industries. After that, second is the antibiotics. Antibiotics, what do you mean by antibiotics? Anti means against, biotic means life, that means against the life. Yes, antibiotics are the chemical or the organic substance that can prepared from the microorganisms to stop or kill the growth of other microbes. That is known as the antibiotics. I am repeating again. These are the chemical substance or the organic substance prepared from the microorganisms and that can be used to stop or kill the growth of other microbes is known as antibiotics. But there are four characteristics that are the specific characteristics of any antibiotics. First, the antibiotic should check the development of any other resistant microbes growth over there. Second, it should be of broad spectrum. That means it should act on a number of pathogens that are differing their activities also and their purpose also. So it should be of broad spectrum, that means act on a number of pathogens. Next, it should not, that means antibiotic should not create any side effect or harmful effect on the host who is taking this antibiotic. Next, action of antibiotic should be specific, that means it will inhibit the which metabolic property of the microbe. It should be specific. So I have written here number of antibiotics and their microbes also. Like first, bacitracin is the antibiotic which is obtained from the bacteria Bacillus subtilis. Second is the erythromycin is the antibiotic that is obtained from the Streptomyces erythraeus. Third is the chloramphenicol which is obtained from the Streptomyces vengula. Next is the penicillin antibiotic obtained from the fungus Penicillium notatum. This Penicillium notatum, yes, is discovered when the scientists were observing the working of the streptococcus. Yes, streptococcus, when they are start trying to growing the streptococcus in the culture media in the laboratory. At that time, they found that there is something, a mold is grown in one of the petri plate that is inhibiting the growth of the streptomyces or streptococcus. Then they found that there is a chemical substance is released by that mold. Then they have taken out that mold and then taken out that chemical also that is released by the mold. Then they observed the nature. Then they found that that is the penicillin, that is the antibiotic which is released by the Penicillium notatum, and that mold that was observed in the petri plate was the Penicillium notatum fungus. Okay, after that neomycin is there, that is obtained from Streptomyces pallidum. Next is cephalosporin antibiotic which is obtained from the Cephalosporium acrimonium. So these are the antibiotics which can obtain from. I have given some of the examples. There are a number of antibiotics which are obtained from the microbes, because the definition itself indicate these are the chemical or organic substance obtained from the microorganisms. But these antibiotics are classified as of first generation, second generation. It will depend upon the which substance we are using from the microbes. After discussing about the microbes in the household products and microbes in the industrial products, now we are going to discuss about the microbes in the sewage treatment. Now question is, what is sewage? Yes, sewage is the municipal waste that will include both liquid as well as solid waste, and that is generated from the towns and cities, and that will flows in the sewers is known as the sewage. This sewage is consist of 99% water and 1% solid waste impurities. So now question arises, why this sewage treatment is done? To remove the waste from the flowing water. Sewage treatment is done that the water that is generated from there can be again used for the human activities. So now question arises, what is sewage treatment? Sewage treatment are the treatment plant where impurities will be removed in a stepwise manner and to clear the water that will again pass into the water bodies. That is known as sewage treatment plant, STP. Okay, in sewage treatment plant, here there are three types of treatment: primary treatment, secondary treatment, and tertiary treatment. In primary treatment, we are just physically remove the impurities that is floating in the waters. In the secondary treatment, we are using the microbes, both aerobic as well as anaerobic. And third is the tertiary treatment, where we are using the chemicals like the chlorine. So one most important thing that we will discuss here is the BOD, that is the biochemical oxygen demand. It means the water that we are passing through the sewage treatment plant is how can we know that water is polluted or not. So that can be find out with the help of BOD. What do you mean by BOD? Okay, the amount of oxygen required or consumed by the microbes in to degrade organic waste in 1 liter of the water is known as BOD. I am repeating again, amount of oxygen required or consumed by the microbes to degrade the organic waste in 1 liter of water is known as the BOD. That means if BOD is high, it will indicate they are using more amount of oxygen. Microbes are using more amount of oxygen, it means water is highly polluted. If BOD is low, that means it is showing that microbes are using less amount of oxygen. It means organic waste is low there and water is less polluted. So now discuss the sewage treatment. Yes, today we are discussing about the two treatments, primary treatment and the secondary treatment. In the primary treatment, firstly, the raw sewage that is flowing through the sewers is passed through the filtration. First is the filtration. Filtration tank will remove the flowing impurities like the papers, like the clothes, like the large stones, like the water bodies. Any other impurities that is flowing through the water can be removed by the filters. After that removal of the waste, the water from the filtration tanks will pass into the sedimentation tank, and then water will settle down there for some small time period. After that, what will happen? The impurities the grit, the sand will settle down in the bottom, and water will remains clear over the surface. So that water that is in the sedimentation tank, the water that is above and impurities that are settling down, the impurities that is settled down is known as the primary sludge. That also contains some grit soil which can be taken out and can be used as a compost for the land filling. So after that settling tank, the effluent that is clear over the primary sludge is decanted. That means water is passed into the another aeration tank. That water which is going to be passed is known as the primary effluent. Yes, primary effluent is the water that is passing from the sedimentation tank of the primary treatment. This effluent is passing into the aeration tank. Yes, in the aeration tank, water will amount of air will be filled into the water by taking the water upstream, then fall down, then taking the upstream, then again fall down, to adding the air, because we have to grow their aerobes, and these aerobes will grow in the form of colonies and make the flocks. After that aeration tank, that air will be passed into that water from where aerobes will be entered. That water where aerobes will degrade the organic waste, then that water is passed into the sedimentation tank. This is the second sedimentation tank, because first sedimentation tank is in the primary treatment. Now this is the secondary sedimentation tank. After that, what will happen? Aerobes that has grown in the flocks will settle down at the bottom, and that is known as the activated sludge. After that, this activated sludge is passed through the anaerobic digestion, where anaerobic microbes will grow, and that anaerobic microbes will eat the bacteria and the fungus. After that, this process, when aerobes will digest bacteria and fungus, release a large amount of biogas also, that can be used for the house purpose, for the lighting, and for the biogas plant also, like this. And that anaerobic digestion, after anaerobic digestion, the effluent is passed through the chemical treatment, where chlorine will be added to kill the anaerobes also, and that water that is passed through the chemical treatment is passed into the natural water bodies like the rivers. So primary treatment, where the physical removal of the waste will take place, and then secondary treatment, where biological, with the help of microbes, organic waste will be degraded, and tertiary treatment, where chemicals are added to remove the microbes. These treatments are done to clear the water, and this is known as the sewage treatment, which can be done with the help of microbes. So in this chapter we will study till secondary treatment only, because in this chapter we are studying the role of microbes, and microbes are only used in the secondary treatment for the removal of the organic waste. That is why tertiary treatment is not considered here. So after that, tertiary treatment, chlorine is added and water is passed into the rivers. So this is about all microbes in sewage treatment. Now we are going to discuss about microbes in the production of biogas. What is biogas? Biogas is a mixture of gases. Yes, mixture of gases produced by degradation of the organic matter, mainly the dung, that is also known as the gobar, by the anaerobic bacteria, that is known as the biogas. Now the bacteria that is mainly, or the microbes that is mainly involved in the production of biogas is the first is Methanobacterium, Cellulomonas, Bacillus, Eubacterium, and Eumeноcoccus. These are the microbes that will degrade the organic waste and produce the biogas, which can use for cooking, lighting, and irrigation purpose also. So now question is, what is the composition of biogas? Yes, it consists of methane, CO2, I can label methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and nitrogen. The methane is 50 to 68%, carbon dioxide is 25 to 35%, hydrogen is 1 to 5%, and nitrogen is 2 to 7%. So, but if we want to make this type of biogas that can be used for the human purpose, we need the biogas plant, where biogas can be produced by using the microbes. So biogas plants are of two types. One is the floating biogas plant, and second is the fixed biogas plant. Floating biogas plants are the plants in which a floating lid is used to cover the biogas or digester tank. When the gas will produce then, and the amount of gas will be increased, this floating disc will move upward according to the amount of the gas. But second is of fixed biogas plant where a fixed amount of biogas can be stored only. That means after that it will start to remove and remaining process will be stopped. So this is the diagram of the biogas plant. Biogas plants can be constructed in the rural areas, which is made up of concentrate tank that is of 10 to 15 feet deep, and it contains a slurry, and that slurry is contain the dung plus water is to 1:1 proportion. So this is the diagram. This is the part from where slurry will be added. Yes, before adding we can mix the water into the dung into 1:1 proportion. Then we will add here. After that it will goes down here. This is the digester tank. This digester tank is made up of the bricks and concrete, which is developed by that is about 10 to 15 feet deep inside the earth. So remaining part is covered by the soil here. So this is the digester tank where microbes will be used to degrade the organic matter, that is the dung, and here mainly anaerobic microbes will be used. Yes, especially anaerobic microbes that will decompose the organic matter and produce the biogas. And this biogas will start to increase here. After that in the gas tank, and that gas will pass through this gas pipe and goes to the homes for the cooking, for the lighting, and for the irrigation purpose. So this decomposition process will carry out in the digester tank. And digester tank, after the complete digestion will takes place, that the organic waste that cannot produce much more amount of the biogas, it can be taken out as is. And this is the sludge tank from where we can take it out, and we can use that as a manure in the fields also for increasing the fertility of the soil. So now question arises, how this gas is produced? What is the source of this biogas? As you know, main source are the microorganisms that can degrade the organic waste and produce the biogas. But this waste dung is produced by the ruminant animals. Yes, ruminant animals can digest the herbs, shrubs, and trees-like structure that is contain the cellulose. Yes, that so these microbes, that is the mechanobacterium, is also found in the gut of animals, that is the ruminant animals, where they can break down the cellulose containing material and release the biogas. Okay, so that will help, that microbe will help the ruminants also for degrading the cellulose.